Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in Smackdown Live. Who needs Raw?
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw, the only wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve Larson. We're also available at iTunes, at Podbean, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, Google Play, SoundCloud.com/Stephen Larson. I don't know, whatever. Look, man.
Did you say Podbean?
I think I did, but I don't know. Look, we're available wherever good podcast apps exist. You can find us there. And we like to talk about wrestling here on the show, Larson. We're talking about Smackdown today. Got lots of great questions from lots of great friendos out there. And we'd like to say thank you also to our patrons out there at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. As of yesterday's episode, we got this lovely mic right here. And Larson, I listened to our episode back while I was doing it. And your voice, it's angelic in how crystal clear it is.
Awesome.
It's erotic, almost. It's erotic. Professional music.
Amazing. Incredible.
So anyways, we had SmackDown. And
another great show.
Once again, it was the superior product. SmackDown's is superior.
Yeah.
So
someone on Raw is asking, where's the override?
where's the override? No, somebody on Raw is saying, get out of there! Oh, man, we're big Star Trek nerds.
Yep.
Okay, so anyways. Why is SmackDown better? Because you wish it. Okay, let's be serious. We're talking about serious business wrestling here, Larson.
I know, very serious.
That's what we're talking about today. Anyways.
So SmackDown was good.
Yeah, it was really good. We had, there was a couple of really cool things happening. God, these are all really cool things. It's really entertaining 2 hours. It doesn't feel like 2 hours, man. It doesn't feel like 2 hours, but that 3 hours in Raw feels like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Where was Baron Corbin this week?
Not on the show.
Where was Baron Corbin?
Not on the show.
Oh, man, I just realized. What could have gone away for Baron Corbin? Nothing. It was packed.
Yeah.
Packed
with good
If you're not
stuff.
bringing your heat, then you should
Good
be on the
stuff.
show. I wonder if Baron Corbin's going to interrupt Talking Smack right now. Because we're shooting this right after SmackDown. Talking Smack is happening right now. I'm going to watch it late tonight.
Okay.
After I lift my weights.
Good.
Yeah. Anyways. So, let's just talk about Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. Because Bray Wyatt is that guy that we always talk about. We feel there's so much money in that guy, in that rotunda boy, that they're not getting. And today, on SmackDown, or yesterday, whenever this goes up, relative to, Randy Orton Bray Wyatt issued a challenge to come find him.
Well, let's backtrack a bit because Randy Orton opened the show to a huge pop.
Oh, yeah. Crowd was fire.
The crowd all night was really good.
Big Cleveland crowd. Big ups Cleveland. Never been there before. I don't know why I say big ups to shit.
So Randy comes.
I'm going to go around saying big ups if like I go to Subway, big ups to sandwich. Go on, sorry.
Randy comes to the ring, delivers a good promo.
Yeah.
Talking about how Bray is supposed to be the new face of fear, but a lot of people are afraid of different things like spiders and snakes.
Yeah, and then crowd goes, ooh, because Viper, they make
Viper is a snake.
Idiots. Yeah, go on. Viper's a snake, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what the SmackDown show should be. The Going Down Live should be.
Yeah.
It should be the SmackDown equivalent of Going In Raw. It should be the goofier, more unpredictable show.
Well,
like
it kind of is.
Second, Hilton can come in.
It kind of is by nature because we've already been working for 9+ hours.
You got clowned by Joe Modfather, Idol.
Oh yeah.
He said, "Oh, poor guy, 9 hours of work."
I wasn't complaining about it.
Nah, you were kind of.
No, I wasn't complaining.
You don't complain about anything these days because we're at a certain level where we like to be. But I wasn't saying you were complaining, but you were acting as if 9 hours is like a long time.
It's a full work day.
Where there are lots of people out there.
No, I understand.
Who work far more.
My work day is not over. When I go home, I'm gonna have to work more.
You just told me you're gonna go home and sit on your ass.
Working.
All right.
I'm going to work another 2 hours after I get home. So
All
I'll
right.
have an 11-hour day.
Right.
I understand people work longer than that, and I'm not saying anything.
Nobody question this guy's work ethic. It's very strong. It is very strong. I hear people. What is Donald Trump saying? I hear things from people. People are saying that he doesn't work very hard.
Let's get back on track. So Wyatt interrupts Orton.
From the Titantron.
Correct. That's when he issues
Backstage.
his challenge.
Yeah, and he says, Randy, come find me, man. You're scared, man. Anyways, Randy does, in fact. So there's a thread going through this show where Orton is down in the.
Well, he's backstage.
He's backstage, but it looks like he's down in like the Wyatts. They hang out down in the boiler room.
In the bowels of the arena.
Thank you, the bowels of the arena. That's what I was looking for. In the bowels of the arena. And so, he's walking around on doors. First of all, there was like an arrow that was like attached to like
the wall,
the wall, and he twists
There
it.
was a fork in the road.
Yeah.
And he turns the arrow and walks the opposite way. But when the camera pans back to the arrow that he did move, it's back pointing the way it originally was. And there's Eric Rowan.
Right. Sporting a fancy mask. So anyways, and so throughout the episode, this happens. At one point, Randy Orton opens up a door.
It was like, what's the game show? Let's make a deal?
Yeah, let's make a deal, yeah. What's behind door number one?
So I made notes.
It's a Randy Orton stand-up.
Yeah, one of them, he opened the door that said, what did the door say?
Pray,
yeah. Yeah, it said pray. He opened the door, and there was a Randy Orton stand-up.
Yeah, but its eyes were like whited out.
Yeah.
So it was like a creepy Randy Orton.
And so he opened...
What was behind door number two?
He opened the door a little bit and kind of peeked in, but around the corner was Eric Rowan.
Didn't see the cameraman there. He said he saw Eric Rowan there. But no, he didn't see Eric Rowan.
No,
Eric Rowan we saw, because of the camera's position on the other side of the door, that Eric Rowan was ready to pounce. He was ready to probably throw an awkward CM Punk-like punch and then get RKO'd.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is what would have happened. But it didn't happen. And then, so are we to assume then, did Eric Rowan get locked in there because then you see the door handle like jiggling a little bit?
Oh, maybe.
It felt like he got locked in there. That was unintentional comedy because I think it was supposed to be like ominous, like, ooh, I'm going to come through here. But it just came off like, because it was kind of extended. You probably weren't paying attention. It was kind of extended. The handle kept on jiggling.
Yeah, I was sitting on the opposite side of the room from your television, and the jiggling I didn't notice.
Yeah, there was definite jiggling there.
Okay.
I like when jiggling happens.
The last segment saw Wyatt delivering kind of a promo he's been delivering throughout the episode.
Yeah.
And Orton, with the sheep mask, comes up from behind him.
Yeah.
All creepy like.
All weird.
And
then, shirtless too, by the way.
Yeah. And then takes the mask off.
Because he had a shirt on before.
As Bray turns around, hits him a few times. Bray runs off. Yeah. And then something interesting happened.
Yeah.
Randy takes the seat that Bray was sitting in, puts the mask back on, and starts singing, he's got the whole world in his hands,
and then
like Bray does.
Some creepy editing type stuff. And then what may or may not have been a production mishap, it went back to a shot of Bray Wyatt talking in the chair. But I think that was a production mishap.
That could be.
It didn't thematically fit with what was happening. So anyways, regardless of production mishaps, really cool segment. Very cool segment.
Yeah.
Due to its pre-taped nature, its cinematic nature, if you will, shades of the final deletion, but it was its own thing.
Yeah.
And it's something that I really liked because, I will like it much more if they pick up this thread next week with maybe the dynamic between Orton and Wyatt having changed somewhat. And I don't know how that can be. I'm hoping that they're going to do something interesting and creative, but I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, and I hope what they were alluding to by having Randy sit in that chair, don the mask, sing the song, as you say, I hope they follow through on that and actually pays off in the end of this feud where Randy is changed by his encounter with Bray. 'Cause that's something we've been saying for, it feels like months.
Man, how cool would it be if everybody that Bray encountered took something of that feud with them and expanded their own repertoire with it. You know, be it a moveset, be it a new catchphrase of some sort, something they say, be it, a scar is going, you know, back in the day, people were very, if there was some sort of like scar you could take from it, you know, and it's like, yeah, for the rest of your career, you got to apply this scar makeup, but it changes you, you know, and every time the audience sees it, they see continuity, they see longevity, and they see what Bray Wyatt does to you.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not somebody wants to keep on putting on like a scar makeup, I don't know if they want to do that, but still, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
You know,
that would be neat.
Yeah. So anyways, the bottom line is this, I like this because it's not just your standard Randy Orton sort of going over. It's Randy Orton, and maybe this will end up next week being a trap that Bray had set for Randy, and this was part of his plan.
Yeah.
You know, to sort of embody the God that Bray Wyatt talks about, perhaps. I don't know. He'll come up with something clever and cool to say.
Yeah.
So anyways, again, this is something I'm looking forward to next week. It's something to look forward to for No Mercy, which we're going to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got Dean Ambrose saying that he's there to kick butt and chew bubblegum or something.
What did he say about AJ? He's the guy I'm going to make cry.
Oh, I don't know. If he actually said that.
He did say that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not into that. Okay, here's my thing about this. So, you know, we can sort of talk about the main event. The main event tonight was AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. John Cena was over on commentary, but it was his rematch for the world title. Our best friend AJ Styles has the world title, and this was that rematch. This is either a Dean thing or it's a creative thing. But okay, for an example, when they announced on the New Era episode of Raw that Sasha Banks would be getting that title shot against Charlotte, I was like, well, maybe that's something that can happen. When we saw Dana Brooke get tossed by the ref after Sasha pulled those shenanigans, we're like, okay, they're doing this. I felt we could have had that same level of buildup, because why have the match if there isn't the possibility that the title change could have happened tonight? Mm-hmm. Why bother having it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe like if they weren't going to tease, at least there could have been a title change, then make it a non-title match simply so Dean could get some revenge and beat up AJ Styles. I thought that SmackDown is at a point where it's so hot, it's so unpredictable, that I felt we could have seen them really, really telegraph a title change tonight and then it not happen and us actually be surprised that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That could have been interesting, and I felt like SmackDown was on such a roll, and this is a credit to them that they could have pulled it off.
It felt like they needed about 15 minutes more.
They needed some more. Yeah, they needed some more. Because, okay, look at what Miz and Dolph did just on the mic tonight in 15 minutes.
Fantastic.
Look at what they did. You know, it's like, holy crap, they got us weepy. They got us emotional. They really riled us up. And they made us, dude, 6 months ago, yeah, Miz Dolph Ziggler at a pay-per-view. Okay, well, I'm going to go to the merch table.
Yeah.
Now it's, oh, shit, these guys are going to put on a show. All because of these 15 minutes that they gave them tonight.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
The main event was really, really good.
Yeah.
And there were moments of intensity in that match that made me think of that. Man, if they had built this up a scotch more and really made us think that they could have pulled this off and then not.
It would have been interesting during Dean's promo to open the show if it wasn't just him. If, say, he and AJ had a run-in backstage.
Yeah.
And kind of talked back and forth.
Yeah.
And just something happened.
Because I'll give you a perfect example of this. Last week, when they interviewed Dolph backstage, his promo alone, which is no more than 5 minutes, it was like, okay, he's already fought Miz once. He's fighting him again, and he's using that kind of a language. Okay, another example. When Sasha came out to announce her retirement, and she was throwing all the signals that she was going to do it, and then she swerved us.
Yeah.
There are certain signals in promos when you know that it's their time. There are certain signals. And so if they had done that with Dean, or like you said, Dean and AJ, if they had thrown certain signals out there, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we know better. We know it's not going to happen, but it would have intensified the level if you can make people believe that it could happen. That's the point. Whenever you have a title match, too often we sit there and say, you know, in our predictions, no, it's a lock. This isn't going to happen. No, it's a lock. It's not going to happen. The New Day and their streak, not going to happen. How great would it be? Dude, how great would it be is if on whatever day it is that the New Day are going to break Demolition's record, if the day before that somehow they managed to lose the titles,
I know.
they really built up that Demolition
I
thing,
know.
and they mentioned every episode, we would be so waylaid. We'd be so waylaid. And in the end, what does it really matter? They have a massive record. Does it really matter? You know, if they lose? No, it doesn't.
No.
So, you know, the nature of unpredictability is one of the most powerful factors in making pro wrestling really, really entertaining.
Yes.
And I felt that was what the build up to this main event was lacking. And I've got high expectations for SmackDown because they've been killing it lately.
Yeah. Still a good match.
Really good.
And
match.
Cena
Really
on
good
commentary did a great job of not only building up the story between AJ and Dean, but his place in it as well. He talked a lot about making history at No Mercy, tying Ric Flair's record,
Yeah.
becoming a 16-time world champion, what it meant to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
All really good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was
just really good.
Yeah, it was all just really good stuff. I mean, again, AJ Styles, we said we told him straight up to his face, you make everybody better, and he did tonight.
He does.
Too. He really does.
He really does.
Absolutely amazing. His selling, you said, I wish we had more time with him so we could talk about his selling, because he, like, you start squirming sometimes. And I guarantee you he's just fine. But when he does certain things, it's like, oh, God, that looked like it hurt. But he's just selling.
It reminds me of Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels used to sell like that, where he'd sell so well, you were convinced that he just hurt himself.
Classic match where that's evident is Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan. I'm joking. We need to do a book of the match on just that match. That's great. Breakdown bit by bit. Shawn Michaels overselling the living shit out of Hulk Hogan. Brother. Anyways, continue.
We had a
tag match.
8-man tag.
The Alpha American team and Rhino. I feel like American Alpha, isn't it weird? American Alpha's been sort of shoved to the side. Heath Slater and Rhino are like the hottest tag team right now.
I know.
That's fantastic. People are apeshit over Rhino, man.
I know. Well, that's the talent of SmackDown's writing staff.
When you have the Usos, who are like this super serious, like really well done heel team now over the past couple of weeks, and they have to sell to Heath Slater, who's being booked oddly strong, that's weird.
Well, he's still tapped.
Yeah, no, he tapped. You're right. He tapped. He's vulnerable. Rhino is still his finisher.
Yeah.
But, he came in to the match hot.
Yeah, he got the hot tag.
Yeah, he got the hot tag, and he was hot when he was waylaying everybody. Wailing. I've used that like 3 times already.
It was a good match, though.
It was a really good match. It was an entertaining match. American Alpha, Chad Gable still selling that knee injury, so I like that.
Yeah.
Where does American Alpha go? What are they going to do?
I kind of feel like
next?
they're in a holding pattern until the Usos claim those tag titles, and then that's the next program.
Is Rhino Slater still like a temporary thing? I think it's temporary until Rhino has to do something.
Yeah, and I still don't know what's next in their storyline.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell when you throw them in there with an 8-man tag match. The Usos are the number 1 contenders now, right?
Correct.
Okay, so they're going to be fighting for those belts at No Mercy.
It's going to be a good card.
It's going to be a really good card. I'm apt to think that Rhino and Slater are going to keep those for a little while.
Yeah.
Because there's the possibility that Rhino's going to have a very limited time.
Yeah.
Because of his election coming up. I don't know what I'll have to get on 538, see what the Rhino election poll numbers are like. But yeah, I think it's a possibility that Rhino's going to be gone in a little bit. I wonder where that's going to leave Slater. Where is that going to leave the tag division? I don't know.
Well, that could be the thing that kind of kickstarts the second phase of Heath Slater's
Heath Slater experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, like you said, really good match. Built some heat. Wonder what they're going to do for the Go Home show next week.
Yeah.
Should be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We had the Miz backstage. We'll talk about. Did we talk extensively about Miz and Dolph?
No. We were gonna get back to that.
Okay. So they showed some Miz backstage, trying to mount his own picture over that of LeBron James. And then tonight, due to a contract stipulation, a writer, I guess, if you will, the Miz hometown celebration.
Yeah.
Was happening tonight. They gave him the Kevin Owens fireworks treatment.
Yeah.
And he comes down to the ring and he says, how's it going, Cleveland, my hometown? The Cavs won the finals in the NBA Finals this year, and 1.3 million people lined up the streets to see them. And this is all I get. So within a minute, he's back to being the best heel in the game.
Yep.
Running down everybody.
Running down Dolph's parents who were sitting ringside.
Well, his parents are there too. He's, saying nice things about them.
He said the only two decent people in this arena
That's right.
were his parents.
Right. Yeah, very nice of him to say that. And then he turns focus to Dolph and runs to Dolph's parents, runs him down. Papa Ziggler seemed pretty tickled by it. Mama Ziggler was playing it up. She sold the shit out of that.
Yeah.
She was like, ooh, none of that. So anyways, Dolph.
The Miz was going at least a good 10 minutes.
Oh, man.
Just running down.
It was great. It was fantastic. Dolph comes out. As soon as he turns focus to his... Oh, what did he say? Shit, I tweeted out. I have Twitter right here. He says, congratulations on raising a world-class elite loser.
Yeah, when the Miz left, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, when the Miz left, what?
When the Miz left to walk up the ramp before Dolph.
Yeah, before Dolph came
issued.
out. Yeah.
No, Dolph was already out. This is before Dolph issued the challenge.
No, that was the first thing he said to his parents, and then that brought Dolph out. And then when he was leaving, he said something like, "Congratulate, you must be proud," or "Congratulations." Or
Oh, maybe
like
that's
that.
what it was. Okay.
So, anyways, Dolph comes down and just cuts his. So him and Miz are in the ring. Miz basically runs him down hardcore. Says, "Your career has been, trash. You lose and you lose and you lose. All you do is lose. Why are you even still here?"
We said this: the ring is all you have.
Is all you have. Yeah, exactly. So then he made his point. I mean, just kind of went overboard. Disproportionate response right there. He leaves. Dolph just with the I don't know if this dude's been taking acting lessons or what, but just the most impassioned promo where he said, "I'm addicted to this. I'm addicted to this ring, to these people. This is all I have, and it doesn't always pay you back, but this is where I am, and maybe you're right." And so he basically says, because the Miz had said, "You're not getting this title. I'm not putting it back up because you're going to lose again."
Yeah.
And Dolph says, "Put it up one more time, and I'll put my career up on the line."
Because the Miz says all you have is your
all
career.
you have is your career. So we kind of saw that where it was going. But nonetheless, it was stunning. And so No Mercy, we get Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz, a match that 6 months ago we would have cared less about. But now, because of the brand split, because of what they've made from this, you're going to get just a fire-hot match. Dolph's going to win the IC title.
Yeah.
At No Mercy.
But because it's SmackDown, I kind of feel like maybe The Miz could win.
Well, the great thing about it, I mentioned this on Machinima Recap, the great thing about it is that Miz said explicitly, no going to Raw, no going to NXT, no, although Dolph and NXT would be great. No 30-day sabbatical, you're done, you're gone, you're done.
Yeah.
So that to me means explicitly, like they are going to have a barn burner match. This is our Sheamus, but it's going to have a finish with Dolph winning. Now you dreamt up, because you said on Recap, you're like, there's a million ways they can write out of a retirement.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they explicitly said these things, so they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But you have a wacky proposal.
Well,
for Dolph Ziggler.
there's been some rumors going around. We'll talk about those more on Friday on the Dirt Sheet.
Right.
That TNA needs to be sold by the end of the week.
Yeah.
Read about that on WrestleZone this morning, I believe. And allegedly, rumor has it, WWE is back in the bidding for TNA.
Right.
So we all know, based on previous reports, that WWE prizes TNA's video library. Mm-hmm. But what if Dolph loses at No Mercy and then comes back as part of the WWE-owned TNA?
Do you think, number one, not that I don't like that, although I don't like it, because I don't want Dolph in TNA. I want him on SmackDown because there's no other mid-carder there. Do you think that WWE for a second would continue TNA? I cannot believe for a second, because they're...
No, I agree with you, because there's already a lot of WWE programming.
Yeah.
I mean, we already have programming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, TNA is already on Thursday.
TNA's on Thursday because WWE moved to Tuesdays.
No, I know, but I mean, just have TNA on the network on Thursday.
My thing is this, TNA isn't WCW circa 2001.
No, I know.
And so I think that if it didn't work there, I think that what they would do is see it as a wealth of talent they could cherry pick from.
Yeah.
They pick what they want. Assuming those contracts would, I mean, I have no idea what kind of like situation the contracts would be, if they'd have to buy out the contracts or how that would work. But
yeah,
it would be, look, this, number one, that'd be a massive bummer if TNA got bought by WWE. I understand the importance of having shit on the network, and I like that idea.
No, I agree with you, though.
But having a play, Cody Rhodes is there, Damian Sandow's there. There's just, if somebody else buys it that's solvent, that has money, that can try to build it into something good again, then that's another place somebody can go make some money if they're tired of how they're being treated at the WWE.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and I know you're on the same page with me as that. But you're right. That is another way they can go. And it would be interesting. In like you say, in the world of SmackDown, anything's possible. So
I don't think it'll happen, but
it's if the WWE buys TNA and Miz loses, I don't know. Maybe you're right.
You mean the Miz wins?
And the Miz wins, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Then maybe you're right. Let's see here. We had a tag match, Natalya and Carmella, the heels, versus Naomi and Nikki. Naomi still has the best entrance in all of wrestling. I mean, just by virtue of Blacklight. I love that stuff. It's great. I should make this. Like, can we do the show in Blacklight?
I don't know. Depends on if your camera can handle it.
Probably not, man. Let's see here.
Good match, though.
Good match. Yeah, it was a fun match. I just love the fact that they let all these matches breathe.
Yes.
They all breathe, man.
Yep.
I love it. And Carmella picked up the win.
Yep.
Like the one kind of least likely to pick up the win, but she's been picking up wins.
Yeah.
And I love it. And she got it on Nikki. And I want to see these two one-on-one, man.
We probably will at No Mercy.
I imagine we would, yeah. Let's see here. We had
Becky Lynch.
who was she? What was so? All I saw was Alexa Bliss attacking her. Who was Becky Lynch supposed to be coming out to fight?
I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Would it be what was her name? Alana. Who's the one that Bailey fought at Raw?
Anna Fields.
Anna Fields. Was it her?
I don't know.
Is she the hottest free agent in wrestling right now?
I don't know.
The answer is no.
Becky came out, and then Alexa Bliss attacked her from behind, and that was all we saw.
The hottest free agent in wrestling right now is TNA. Kurt Hawkins had a promo. Did we already talk about that?
No.
Kurt Hawkins had a promo.
He has news next week.
Kurt Hawkins is going to make an announcement. I hope that his announcement is he's leaving for TNA. I hope his announcement is that he's not going to be wrestling. If
they're investing a lot of time in building his character.
Yeah.
And they deserve some credit for that.
He's got a good look. I mean, he's always had a good look, but he looks kind of like a more Zack Ryder with more vigor, if you will. Where was Zack Ryder this week? No Zack Ryder, no Baron Corbin, no Zack Ryder imaginary friend. Where was Zack Ryder this week? Where was Hype Bro?
I don't know.
Number one.
Maybe SmackDown's roster is more stacked than we thought.
What do you think, Kurt? Yeah, I know, right? What do you think? What do you think Kurt Hawkins' big announcement is going to be next week?
I don't know. Beyond his debut, I don't know what else there would be to announce.
Do you think he's actually going to debut at the arena, or do you think he's going to just be on another video thing where he's talking next to his own butthole?
No. See, I think you'd be a fan of Kurt Hawkins based on that.
No, you know what, man? He's just ripping off Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura, which I'm a huge fan
Again,
of.
I would think you'd be all into that.
It's just a rip-off, though. You can't do it as good as him. Jim Carrey could literally put his face next to his butthole.
I know.
It was great. When he came out of that rhino's butthole in Ace Ventura 2, that was the comedic moment in all of cinema. The top comedic moment in all of cinema. I'm going to do a top 10 on my channel. The top 10 comedic moments. This is going to be number 1 and 2.
Okay.
That was great.
What's number 3?
Oh, man. I don't know. What's a good number 3? I don't know. Something from the Stoned Age.
Oh, man. All right. Do you want to answer some questions?
I threw a gif at somebody of Adam Sandler in the bathtub in one of his early movies with that stupid look on his face. That was funny back then. Those were funny movies.
Back then.
Go home. Go to your home. What fuck? You tell it. Carl Weathers missing a
Oh, yeah,
a
that was
hand
great.
Was brilliant.
Yeah, that was funny.
But that's Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
He busted his hand. He's like, oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry. Questions.
1 second, please.
Okay.
Okay, just Luke.
I got questions for you. I want you to answer them immediately.
With Daniel Bryan and John Cena commingling on Total Bellas.
Oh, I love it.
I know.
What, next week?
Yeah,
I'll love
next
it.
Wednesday.
That dude, Nikki or whatever, the Bella's brother, trying to tell John Cena that he wants to try out.
I know.
John Cena just looking at him like he's a complete jackass.
It's going to be so good. I can't
Oh,
wait.
it's going to be great.
How
How can anybody out there not want to see this? It's great.
I know. We're going to start doing Total Bella recaps
Yes.
on the Dirt Sheet.
We are. Of course we are.
What other superstars would you like to see living in a house together, either reality TV or sitcom style?
What a great Kevin Owens Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn.
How about this?
Go ahead.
Let's cast a WWE Big Brother.
Okay.
So there's either 12 or 16 typically.
Oh man. Okay. All right.
So I agree with those three for sure.
We need
for
sure.
Owens, Jericho,
We need
Sami
a couple-
Zayn, Seth Rollins.
No, keep Seth out. I think Seth is too serious. I don't like that.
But if it's a game like Big Brother, he's the architect.
okay,
He'd be able to
fine.
play that
Seth is
game
in.
well.
Fine, Seth
Okay,
is
4. Seth.
don't we need some women?
Yes.
Nia Jax, Bailey.
Yeah. Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean Charlotte and Sasha. How is it not them? And then we need how many more?
What is that?
8.
We need 4 more.
Okay.
Bo Dallas.
Yes. Bo Dallas.
Zack Ryder.
Of course. And of course that we get Mojo Rawley with them.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really count as one, but he comes along.
So that's 10. We need 2 more at least.
David Otunga. Because I want Otunga to be the guy that everybody messes with. Like, they like, oh, okay, and Randy Orton, because I want Randy Orton to be the guy messing with David Otunga.
Okay.
Because, Randy Orton pooped in somebody's bag before.
Yeah. I'd say Eva Marie as well.
I wonder how hilarious would that be if there was like a video camera of Randy Orton pooping in somebody's bag. Because people pooping in the first place that not on a toilet is pretty funny. I mean, people pooping on a toilet is pretty funny, but people pooping not on a toilet is hilarious. And it being in somebody's bag is like a million times funnier. Or do you think he like pooped, took it out of the toilet, and put it in somebody's bag? What do you think happened there?
I have no idea. I would suspect it would be directly into the bag, because otherwise you had to put your hand in a toilet.
Oh, what was the question? Oh, we answered that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
now the 30-time European champion Dwayne Nix.
When is he going to retire?
Just wait. How much do you guys love the new and very improved Usos? Turning them heel was the best decision with the new entrance and ring gear. They're just one step closer to being the 2 guys AJ needs to make the club on SmackDown Live. P.S. Since this is my 30th reign as European champion, I will officially be retiring as 30-time European champion, and I will now go by the name of #retired Dwayne Nix.
Well, number one, you never made it past 7-time European champion.
30-time.
I got to make some decisions around
30-time.
here, too. And number 2, congratulations. You made it to 30. Now you're retired. Never have to deal with him again.
No, he'll still ask questions.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I hope so.
That's all right. I like it.
How much do we like the new and improved Usos? A lot.
I like all the like. All of the
They're
like.
great.
I like them a lot.
Hunter Harris. Do you think SmackDown would still benefit from wrestlers like Shelton Benjamin and Kurt Angle? I feel they have a good feel of the kind of product they want to produce, and their return may just take a rising star spot with possibly little payoff.
Let me ask you something. What would you rather if you were given a choice? A third hour, but you continue to bring in people like Shelton Benjamin, or second hour keeping the roster as is? Because like we stated, Hype Bro, Baron Corbin, they weren't on the show this week. There was no, Becky Lynch had a moment with Alexa Bliss, but there was no, it wasn't really
right
fleshed
now.
out.
I feel like the 2-hour time constraint is benefiting them in terms of coming up with creative ways to tell stories.
Yeah.
So right now,
Yeah.
I would say keep it 2 hours, even if that means losing out on talent.
Okay. All right.
What do you think?
I feel for the playing field as it is to be even.
Yeah.
I want to see if SmackDown can keep bringing it with 3 hours. I might torpedo the only good show on TV, but I'd like to see what they can do because they've been able to do such a great job.
Yeah.
With the 2 hours they have.
Yeah.
Even if you get rid of if you trim a lot of the fat off the Raw 3 hour thing and make it 2 hours, it's still not very creatively inspired. You know, you've got a lot of great talent and you're not living up to the potential of that talent.
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of if you give that SmackDown creative team a third hour, maybe they can really run with it and make a really compelling 3 hour thing.
They could.
You know? I mean, 3 hours is a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And sometimes the
time itself
feels like too much.
Yeah, I know.
Especially when, pay-per-views are 3 hours.
Yeah.
There's still, I kind of still miss the days when pay-per-views were 3 hours and it was different from the televised program. It made it feel more special.
Yeah, no.
I kind of miss that.
I'm with you on that one. All right, I revised my answer. Everybody goes back to an hour and a half. All right.
1 hour wrestling shows across the board.
Exactly. No, everybody gets a Hulu show.
There you go.
Right.
Was it 90 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you can do though. I mean, you can have more SmackDown and Raw content. I mean, look, if you're looking to add to SmackDown, you can add more content either on the network with a bigger pre-show with matches and things like that. You know, there's a couple things you can have, pre-show feuds on the network exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be more creative with things.
Yeah.
Like a pre-talking does SmackDown have a pre-show? I know Raw does.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, if SmackDown does too, then you can, add
another half hour at least.
Yeah, anyway, let's keep going.
Okay. Hopefully Shelton Benjamin still comes back, though.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I hope so.
McGonigal.
Yeah, Joshua McGonigal.
Listen, McGonigal.
If Samoa Joe does indeed debut on Main after his eventual rematch with Shinsuke, do you think it'll be on SmackDown? If so, what would be his first storyline? Okay, if Dolph does win,
yeah,
Samoa Joe, IC title.
Man, he'll just completely murder. Did you hear that rumor that they were looking into a faction going back to that angle?
Oh yeah.
A pure wrestling faction.
Yeah, I saw that.
Collegiate wrestlers.
I saw that.
That'd be good.
That would be good.
That'd be good.
With Shelton, it
give
was
Swagger something to do. Swagger wasn't on the show.
Swagger and Dolph, right?
Yeah. McGonigal.
Hardcore champion Jericho Kunzman.
All these champions coming out of the woodwork.
I know.
There was somebody claimed to be the Western Heritage States champion. That's my new favorite right there. Whoever claimed that one.
Good afternoon, your hardcore champion here, and I want to know what is your favorite video game? We actually answered that today, earlier today, on the Raw recap. Mine is Portals 1 and 2.
WCW.
Non-wrestling.
Oh, non-wrestling.
Non-wrestling, sorry.
Wait, we answered that? What?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. What's mine? What did I say?
I don't remember. You might have no-sold it.
Really?
All right, here's your chance.
Wow, Portals 1 and 2. Hard to argue with that, though. Shit, I don't know. What do I traditionally say? It's been so long since we've done, real gaming stuff. We've been really immersed in the gaming thing.
know.
I don't know, probably Grand Theft Auto 4, I guess. But 5 is better, so probably
Yeah,
Grand
why
Theft
would
Auto
you say
5.
4?
Because San Andreas. That's what I usually say. Because the soundtrack was hot.
Yeah.
Soundtrack was amazing.
Yeah.
But Grand Theft Auto 5 is way better. I like online.
Then just say that.
Red Dead Redemption's really good.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
But from Portal's up there too. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Portal's fantastic.
The World Tour, man, of course.
Well, yeah, that's our favorite game ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kevin Shaw. On Sunday, Kevin Shaw had the pleasure of attending Clash of Champions live in Indianapolis.
Live!
After being a wrestling fan for nearly a decade, this was his very first ever wrestling event. What was the first wrestling event that each of you ever attended? I believe it was a WCW Nitro.
I believe it was, yeah. Was it the Nitro that Steiner turned into White Thunder?
I don't remember that.
Sorry. He only said he was White Thunder in that episode and then maybe the following Thunder, and then he was never White Thunder again. He was always just big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. I remember specifically he called himself White Thunder.
I don't remember that at all.
Really?
No.
Hold on a second. I have to double check that. Man, am I tripping?
I remember going to the Nitro. I don't remember a lot of what happened.
Okay, yeah. Scott had then adopted the nickname White Thunder in reference to his bleached hair, goatee, and his all-white singlet. Yeah. This was the name he used immediately after turning heel in WCW, and it lasted for maybe a week or two. Exactly.
Okay. I didn't doubt your memory. I just didn't remember it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I'm pretty sure that was the one. That was the first one that I went to.
Because we had floor seats. We were along the entrance ramp, along the aisle.
I don't know if I went to that one. I think
That's the only Nitro I've ever been to.
Maybe you went to that one and I went to a different one. But fuck, honestly, it's been literally 20 years.
Yeah.
It's been 20.
It'd be
It's
about
been-
20
well,
years. Well, it'd be like
18
19.
or 19 years,
yeah.
So
It was probably 97.
yeah, I think you're right.
Because I think I went to a Nitro and a Raw, both in 97.
Yeah.
I want to say. And then once we moved to LA, we started going to more wrestling shows.
Oh yeah. Well, we went to that one over at Mather out here.
Yeah.
That was before we moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carlos Hackworth. What's up, friendos? Hi. Awesome SmackDown tonight. Agreed. If you could cast anyone in the WWE as members of the Power Rangers, who would it be and what would be their color? He gives his casting. Randy Orton as the Red Ranger.
Okay.
AJ Styles as the Blue Ranger.
Obviously.
Seth Rollins as the Black Ranger.
Obviously.
Carmella as the Pink Ranger.
Okay.
Lana as...
no. Wouldn't Natalia be pink because she's the heart?
Sure.
Okay.
Lana as the Yellow Ranger. And John Cena as the White Ranger. I don't know enough.
I feel like if you don't have Xavier Woods in there, who like literally did the Power Ranger thing throughout his career, then you're not.
I don't know enough about the Power Rangers
I
to
don't know jack
cast
shit about
them.
the Power Rangers.
I don't know anything about them. Clayton C.
Okay.
Hey, friendos. Considering Naomi has a new crazy outfit every show, how would you design her next glow-in-the-dark ring gear?
Oh man. Yeah, I would try to find a way to channel some like lightning effects
Oh, that's good.
into it. Like I don't know if you can.
You know
can
how
do
she
that?
has the LED lights in her shoes?
yeah.
What about some LEDs on her actual outfit?
Oh yeah, that'd be cool too. I like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Ulysses
You know, it'd be really cool.
Barahona. What?
Is if they can do some sort of like
What are you doing?
hair dye. I'm looking for the date that he turned
Oh,
to White
okay.
Thunder.
It didn't say in Wikipedia?
What's Wikipedia? Scott Steiner. Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well, it didn't say on his official website?
I'm sure it did. Have you seen his official website?
No, let's stay on task. Let's
The
look at
best
Wikipedia
thing.
first.
Wait, look at this. Oh man. Oh, I love it. Go to Booty. Go to bootydaddy.com.
Oh my
/home6.htm. Oh, it's brilliant. Anyways, what was the question?
Ulysses Barahona.
Oh no, it'd be cool if like they found a way to like do, you know how she does like her hair dyed like that crazy neon green?
Yeah.
What if they found a way to make that like pulsate with light?
Oh, that'd be
somehow?
cool.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if they can do that or not.
Yeah, I don't know either. Hey, friendos.
Hello.
Now that we have seen Alexa Bliss as Harley Quinn, which comic book female characters would you choose for the other SmackDown Live's women? He says, good vibes for you guys from Honduras.
Okay. February 22nd, 1998. So we went to February 23rd, 1998 was our first wrestling show. Or mine anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, what was the question?
Which comic book female characters would you choose for the other SmackDown Live women competitors?
Oh, I don't know. That's hard to say. Like I kind of ran my course last time.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah, not a good. I can't do a sequel to that.
Okay.
Not really good at that.
Chops.
Sorry, whoever asked that question. I apologize.
I want to see more new and creative match types. This is from Chops.
Chops.
What would be a custom match type you would like to see? Chops would like to see a 2 out of 3 falls triple threat table match.
2 out of 3. Jeez, that was brutal. I want to see whatever it was that Hackenschmidt and Gotch did back in 1911, where they wrestled for like an hour for one fall, and then they had to come out like for a second fall after 2 hours or some shit like that. Man, that sounds rough. And then he won by toe hold.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to regress to like when wrestling was just really boring. That's what I want.
All rest holds.
All rest holds, yeah.
Kevin O'Donohue. With that fantastic promo from The Miz and Dolph setting up the title versus career match at No Mercy, I was wondering what other promos impressed you like the one we just saw on SmackDown. Off the top of his head, he mentions Daniel Bryan having the Yes Movement invade the ring on Raw leading to WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, I like that one. My favorite promo of all time is
pipe bomb.
Is CM Punk's pipe bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, man, the level of just intensity and legitimacy, and man, the star was flipping. I mean, I know CM Punk was hot shit before that, and he was a multiple-time world champion. He'd been all over the place.
Yep.
But that to me was such a man. I loved the straight edge superstar stuff. I loved that stuff. It was great. But when he did the pipe, and it's funny to think that pipe bomb thing came on the heels or around the same time of him being the leader of the new Nexus, which was like a horrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
And he was like converting people or some crap like that. It was so stupid. But when he did that pipe bomb and shit got serious with his contract and everything, that was amazing television.
So good. Next. I agree with you, by the way.
Okay.
Big Razor Sexy. Is this the end for Ziggler? Or are we getting set up for another dusty finish?
Oh, I hope not. I hope SmackDown. When it works, it works. Like in Cesaro, Sheamus, I thought it worked really well.
I thought for Rusev Reigns last night it worked.
I thought it worked well. You protect both guys. It's fine.
This needs to have a winner.
This has to have an ending. Yeah, it has to have a winner. Exactly.
Najee Poles.
This is my favorite name of the people that we've been getting. Najee Poles.
If you could assemble your own trio of announcers for SmackDown Live from wrestling history or even the world of pro sports, who would your dream team be?
It would be Mike Adamle, David Otunga, and who else was terrible?
Oh, okay. That's the direction you're going. Okay.
Have you missed out? I missed out on the days of Mike Adamle.
Yeah, I did too.
Because he was an American Gladiators guy.
Yeah.
And he would mispronounce names. It was hilarious. Like, you can go and look at his greatest hits. And it was like he'd say, there's one person who is standing in the way of blah, blah, blah. And his name is Jeff Harvey. But I wasn't watching at the time. It was like when Jeff Hardy was like, I think, trying to be the world champion or the WWE.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really paying attention. But then, of course, what do they do with a guy who everybody hates? They made him the Raw general manager. And so these days, like when we point out, like I think in one of our lists, like the worst, I don't know, one of our worst lists or something, people were saying, "What about Mike Adamle?" And I was like, "Who?"
Yeah.
And so I had to go back, and I'm like, "Oh man, that's right. They made this awful announcer, an awful Raw GM." Like,
Awful.
it was really bad. Anyways,
You need a third person. You need a third person.
Oh, okay. And oh God, old school. Who was terrible? I think Magnum TA. I think historically was pretty bad as a commentator.
Oh, I didn't know he did commentating.
Terry Funk was. Remember we watched we watched one where Terry Funk was just terrible.
Yeah,
just terrible at commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Mike Tenay.
I love that you're going with worst. Also, he always had that weird look. Right?
I know.
Mike Tenay. Who else?
John Madden.
That, weird but entertaining.
Yeah.
As all get out.
Like,
you've got this amazing, box of football knowledge up here that somewhere along the route here, the scenic route, mind you, it just turns into this weird shit about stuffing turkeys into chickens and shit.
And Titus O'Neil.
Oh, that's a guy I like Titus.
I do too. I think it would be a fun commentary team. I didn't go worse.
Be the weird Mike Tenay.
He apparently has a lot of wrestling knowledge.
Hey, you know who actually
apparently he's not bad on TNA.
You know who I actually really loved? Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone wasn't bad.
He's good.
Yeah.
He was fed horrible things to say by Eric Bischoff.
If I had said Larry Zbyszko.
Oh, why did I not say Larry? Oh, he was great.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, there was a reason why everybody chanted his name.
No Mike Tenay. Give me Heenan.
Oh, well, yeah.
Heenan,
he's
John Madden, Titus
classic.
O'Neil. That'd be great.
Classic.
Great.
He's classic.
Great. Smapty Jones. Greetings, friendos. Was warned.
Yeah, I'll be there in a bit.
Was wondering if there was a moment before you knew wrestling was scripted that shocked you. For Smapty, it was when he was 10, staying up late watching NWA and seeing Jim Cornette burn Ronnie Garvin's face.
Oh, I need to watch that. Somebody find where that is. That sounds amazing.
It looks so real that I tried to find Wait, it looks so real that I tried to find info in the local papers and TV news.
Great. Oh my God, I need to see that. That's great. I love old wrestling because it's all real. That shit was real. And anything in the NWA is real, man. I'm sorry, it's all real. No, when I was very young, I knew that it was fake. That was the knock. I mean, I felt it as a knock. Like when I was a kid, like I think my dad probably wisened me up to the business. It was not protected for me. I think I knew very early on that it was the fake stuff, and I didn't even watch it. I watched like the cartoon, but I knew about Hulk Hogan, and I knew that pro wrestling was fake. I knew that.
I remember watching the part, I believe, on Saturday Night Main Event when the Mega Powers broke up.
Oh, yeah.
With when Elizabeth was back in the trainer's room and stuff. I remember that.
That looked real. I think they said didn't that start off as like when the cameras were rolling? Weren't they like really getting into it or something like that?
I don't know.
That might have been some real. Anything in the NWA back then. I'd say NWA up until they conglomerated with TNA, it was all real. It was all real.
The Pro Wombat. Hey, friendos. Big fan of the show and new patron here.
Hey, thanks for your support.
Since the WWE is treating SmackDown and Raw as competitors, do you think we'll ever see a champion versus champion event at both brands' pay-per-view? P.S. You guys are the best. Keep being awesome.
I would love to see that in a non-title match. I think that'd be
like a bragging rights thing.
That would be a perfect bragging rights. Or what was the other pay-per-view that we thought that would be really good for? Because bragging rights was the original
Clash
thing.
of Champions.
Clash of Champions. That's right. Yeah.
Jamie 10. The Usos' heel turn has been obviously a good step forward for the tag team. Should the Usos go over Slater and Rhino at No Mercy, or do you feel that Slater and Rhino still have much more to offer? I don't know. The Usos are going to win those belts eventually.
They are. I feel like right now it needs to be Slater and Rhino for as long as they have Rhino.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how long that's going to be. Just that's my gut feeling because he's got an election to do.
Chandler 3 Productions. What's up, friendos? What if SmackDown was live back during the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression Era?
Well, they treated SmackDown like an A show back then.
Yeah.
Back in the
the only difference is there wasn't social media to spoil the show.
Well, during the Attitude Era, yeah, exactly. During the Attitude Era, they treated it like an A show because it was like on network TV. It was almost on UPN.
Yeah.
And then during the Ruthless Aggression Era, it was the brand split, so it was its own show.
Yeah.
Live didn't really matter though. I mean, you said, social media. SmackDown for a period there was known as the better show when Paul Heyman was running things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. Chris Schwinghammer. Hey, friendos. Which wrestler, past or present, would make the best president of the United States, brother? Which wrestler, past or present, would make the best president? I'm going to say, I'm pretty sure. No, he's a libertarian, but I'm going to say Kane. Everybody says Kane's smartest dude in the room. You think Rock will run as Republican or Democrat?
I don't know.
Because he's a Hollywood dude, but he seems like he might be a Republican dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Interesting.
I'm trying to think.
Can you imagine The Rock in a presidential debate? That'd be
Man.
That'd be amazing. I know. Oh, God. Don't even bring up the people's eyebrow. The people's president.
Man, I'm trying to think of an answer better than Kane. Because Kane's a good answer.
Oh, Kane's a great answer. I mean, you could say Rhino because he's running for office right now.
That's true.
Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, there you go. That's good too.
Tommy Dreamer.
James Rodriguez. What are your thoughts on the news today that TNA is in its last days and that Dixie Carter has been talking to the WWE about selling TNA to them? Can you imagine Vince announcing the acquisition on Raw only to have Triple H interrupt via satellite at the TNA arena to announce that he is the buyer?
It ain't the same thing, James. Not the same thing.
Nope.
Not even close to being the same thing. I wonder how they would... Excuse me. I wonder how they would... They would not make TNA to be the same thing as WCW. They wouldn't make them out to be... I don't know, how do you think they would do that?
Well, I don't think Triple H would be the guy that bought him because NXT is his thing.
Well, I don't think. Look, number one.
Or you mean just in general incorporating TNA under the WWE umbrella?
Do you think they would go storyline with that at all? Because I don't.
Odds are no.
I would think not at all.
They wouldn't do any sort of invasion or treat it as a separate
I don't think
brand,
they do
no.
that. I don't think. Now, I'm wondering, would they make that announcement? Like, hey, now on the network we have the library or something like that. Even now would be a big bummer because like jobs are kind of being lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
It would depend on what they were going to do with TNA.
No, for sure, yeah.
If it was strictly a thing where, okay, we got the tape library and then we have certain talents coming over.
Some contracts, yeah.
That would probably just be a press release.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'd be a press release, yeah.
But if they're going to incorporate any sort of storyline thing, then they'd make an announcement on TV.
I would dig a storyline. Be interesting.
Yeah, I would too.
TNA invades SmackDown, especially. That'd be fun. Lashley comes in. Lashley's a beast.
Yeah, he is. He's great. Sean Troush. When do you see Alexa Bliss becoming champion? Who does she beat for the title, and how long do you think her run as champ will last? She may not be on the level of the 4 horsewomen and Paige, but she is developing so fast it might already be one of the top mic workers in the entire women's division.
I would say it'd be at least a year, probably.
Yeah, she'll go through this program with Becky, and they'll probably have, 2-3 matches, you would think?
Probably. I see Becky, she's not going to give that title up anytime soon, and if she does, I see it's probably going to go to, like, Nikki Bella. Mm-hmm. Nikki or, the way they've been booking Carmella, I can see Carmella.
They're all being booked like legitimate contenders.
Yeah, they are.
And that's what's great about the women's division on SmackDown.
Very, very nice.
Chris Harris, how do you rejuvenate Dean Ambrose's career? For Chris Harris, is simple. Cut out all the WWE lunatic stuff and make him a full lunatic, a hybrid of Foley and Austin. I'm Husky Harris, and you're welcome.
I like that he's picked up the moniker of Husky Harris. I like that. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Husky. Shit, man, I don't know. Does it need rejuvenation?
He was just in a match tonight for the WWE title.
Granted,
he's gotten a little stale. That I agree with.
Yeah, just pick it up a couple notches.
Yeah, he just needs to be more intense.
Yeah, I mean, what he's saying, a hybrid of Foley and Austin, is kind of what his shtick is.
Yeah,
in the first place. So
he's just not delivering as consistently as those two guys were.
If you take him back to that, if you take him to do that, then I would say that's how you do it. That's how you go with Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
So,
Patrick Sparks.
Pat here.
Do you guys laugh as much as I do when you hear Tom Phillips say, standing by herewith, when you know he's sitting down?
Well, he's not always sitting down. Sometimes he's got the bow legs. He's got the wide legs.
He's
stance.
doing a crouch or
doing the tripod.
a squat.
Yeah.
Matthew Bernier.
I like that Patrick Sparks laughs at that, though.
I want to know your take.
What does the Patrick Sparks laugh sounds like? That was weird. I know what his voice sounds like. It sounds like this.
Okay.
Hello, hey, friendo, it's Pat here. Ha, 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 ha.
Sure.
Like that.
I want to know your take on the Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt story arc. Personally, I like it, and I hope they get even more weirder.
Yes. Weirder is exactly the word I would want.
Yeah.
I want that to get weirder.
Yes.
With a dilapidated boat.
Tonight, they made it really interesting.
They made it weird, man.
I want to see where it goes.
Production glitch and all.
Yeah. Marty Too Sweet. Last question.
Marty Too Sweet.
Not a chance.
Come on, man. Listen, it's a SmackDown show, end of the show. Nobody's watching now. Just give me Too Sweet.
Nope.
You gave it to AJ, give it to me.
Marty Too Sweet.
I literally saw you Too Sweet AJ Styles. You do. So your blanket statement is false, incorrect. You Too Sweet.
You didn't see it.
You son of a bitch.
Marty Too Sweet asks, Survivor Series is the weakest of the major 4 shows because I feel like there is nothing really on the line to fight for. Those traditional Survivor Series matches haven't been good in a while. What would you guys think about having Raw versus SmackDown at Survivor Series, and the winner of that gets their brand, the main event championship match at WrestleMania? Oh, kind of like the Major League Baseball All-Star game where the winner gets home field advantage for the World Series.
Oh, I really like that.
That's interesting. That's good.
So that would be at Survivor Series?
Yeah. They have a Survivor Series match, and whoever wins that match guarantees their brand. I really like the idea. I doubt it would ever happen because, as we know with WrestleMania, plans change so quickly, and people getting hot, especially with the Rumble. The Rumble always seems to throw a wrench
in the WWE's plans.
What is
These days,
the
anyways.
pay-per-view before the WrestleMania?
It was Roadblock.
No, that was just a network special. Oh, it's Fastlane.
Oh yeah, Fastlane. That's right.
Maybe do it there. By then, one would hope that they would have stuff locked down enough.
I mean, if you really want, look, if you want some stakes at Fastlane, but Fastlane's usually like sort of just an additional episode of Raw or SmackDown,
pretty
whatever
much.
it's going to be.
I like the idea, but I don't know if they'd ever do it.
I really like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, look, in my opinion, WWE has the world title. So
You mean SmackDown?
SmackDown. So Raw needs to like prove their case for why the Universal title should be, the main event.
Well, I would
that
think
could be a story
I would
right
think
there.
if the main event, if the WrestleMania match for the world title is Cena versus AJ, that has to be the main event, especially if it's Cena aiming to tie or break Ric Flair's
and
record.
coming off SummerSlam. Are you kidding me? Oh man,
That'd be
hot
great.
match. That'd be a absolute barn burner right
Yeah.
there. $1,001,000. Anyways, that's it for now. That's our SmackDown show. Good working with you again.
We'll talk to you guys later.